And then when both of you are out there, we can ask some more like
Yeah.
career questions that
Okay.
both of you will be able to weigh.
That's when you grill us.
Exactly.
Both up here.
Uh-huh.
So I can hide behind Monica while I get grilled. Okay, perfect. I'm David Hampion. Born and raised in California, San Luis Obispo County, Ventura County, if you guys are familiar with those areas. Moved up here to go to this amazing school, UC Berkeley. Class of 2009, did my undergrad here. I don't actually have an MBA. I graduated in 2009. I said, I'm done. Okay, I'm done with this. Loved every second of it, but I stayed in this area. Why? This next bullet point. I love music. I love sports. I love education, business. I really love good food. There's nowhere else to live, I feel like, in the world that has all of those things. So came to Cal, came to Berkeley, made this place my home. I live right on the other side of that hill in Orinda. You guys know where Orinda is?
I know. I went to St. Mary's.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Man, how about that one-way street just getting stuck on in traffic? I don't know how you guys get anywhere. So stayed in this area, and my career is in marketing. So that's where I spent my time on the business side, is primarily in marketing, go-to-market strategy, growth marketing, brand marketing, content marketing. We'll get into it. So many different flavors. So my career path, it starts off with the question that everybody has, which is, what the bleep do I do with my life? I graduated in 2009, as Monica alluded to, not the best time in history to go get a job. So, I was asking this question kind of existentially. What do I want to do with my life? Well, I knew I wanted to work in entertainment, but I have literally no credentials to work in entertainment. So I'm going to take a job for AmeriCorps. Raise your hand if you guys have heard of AmeriCorps. It's dead now. Thank you to the current administration, unfortunately. That was my first job. Amazing program. Got me working at a couple different Oakland Unified schools. And I taught music and literacy at those schools. And on the side, I said, I'm going to call everybody I can. I'm going to cold call, cold email, LinkedIn. I'm going to slide into the DMs of everybody I can locally who's working in entertainment. And I think my leg up was that I was too dumb to know that I have nothing to offer them. I was too ignorant to know that I had no skills, but bold enough to reach out, right? And that's a common theme you'll see in my career path is proximity, putting myself as close as I can to the people that are doing the thing that I want to do, even if I don't have the technical skills. So I'm calling everybody. Finally, somebody picks up. He runs a artist management and record label in Oakland. And he says, actually, I do have need for somebody like you. Somebody like me? You mean somebody willing to do anything for free? That was me. He said, yeah, come on in. Let me interview you. Here's what you get. You get to learn the business. Don't work for free. That is not my advice here. But I had no other choice. And I said, this is my foot in the door to learn about the music industry and meet a lot more people than I know right now that are doing this thing that I want to do, which is work in music and entertainment. So fast forward a few months, I'm managing a tour for a local hip hop group, a national tour. I'm doing their laundry. I am booking them hotels. They're calling me when they're like, we said no smoking. And I'm calling the hotel at 2 a.m. to change it. Very unglamorous work. But on the side, I'm learning about music business and I'm meeting people. So finally, I come across some dudes that are working at this company, Pandora. Raise your hand if you know Pandora. Does anybody have it installed on their phone still? Oh my God. I built the growth marketing department at Pandora and it's not growing anymore. Sad. Things have changed. So I meet these guys. Pandora, I've used that thing. Internet radio. And I didn't realize it's in Oakland. It was based in Oakland. And they say, actually, they don't say it. I say, hey, can I come by someday and just check out the office? That'd be so cool. They're like, yeah, for sure, man. Come by. Again, proximity. And so they take me in, they're giving me a tour, and I meet this dude named Mike. He heads up customer service, and he's like, we're hiring. And I'm looking at the people doing customer service. They got the little headsets on in their cubicles. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll do it. Yes, paid like $20 an hour. I was like, oh my God, let's go. So that was my foot in the door for a real job in entertainment. Now, was it what I wanted to do? Answering the phone for a 76-year-old grandfather in Kentucky who's like, what's my password? No, that wasn't what I envisioned doing in entertainment, but proximity. So what did I do? I took that job, and majority of my team worked from home, but I didn't. I went into that office every day because executives are in the office. And again, if I have one skill in life, it is the ignorance to approach anybody and talk about anything. I guess you call it networking. I just call it making friends. And so I went to the office, and that's what I did. I was social. I talked to different people. I tried to learn about different departments, and then paid off. Pandora hired a CMO. So they go over to customer support department. They go, you got anybody good on your team, Mike? He goes, hey, David's good. He's sitting right here. He came into the office today. Talk to David. So they pull me into a room. Like, what do you know about marketing? Like, shit. Well, studied sociology at Cal. It's a lot about people and groups and emotions. And they're like, great. It was a lot more of an interview than that. But the point is proximity, trying to take what I have, develop it into a story that gets me where I want to go when I don't have the technical skills yet to do that thing. So they bring me in. They're like, you're going to build this email program. That's how I got my start in marketing. I ended up building them their email marketing platform, mobile push notification platform, which was brand new at the time. I'm dating myself. We were like, what are these things called push notifications? In product messaging. And then I developed the content and the campaigns that went through those channels, which is where I really found myself in marketing, the creative side. Yeah, I think I know what to tell a customer that'll get them to listen to more music. I think I can come up with content and campaigns. And so that's what I did. Did that for about 3 years. And at the time, here's the consistent theme. Pandora's having a moment. This is when things were going really well. And they acquire a ticketing platform, Ticketfly. They said, we're going to get into live events. They acquire a on-demand platform, which is a Spotify competitor named RDO. They say, we're going to launch an on-demand product. It was already a little late. But regardless, we're going to do all of these things, and we're going to really be involved in the music industry. They start hiring a lot of folks from the music industry. Well, what did I do? Put myself around those people. And I'll talk about it in a little bit. One of the skills that I brought to the table that has helped me land jobs, I call it a give to get. What I did, they're hiring all these folks in the music industry, and I go to them and with this proposal, and I'm like, hey, I'll give you guys 12 push notifications a month to support any artist in the industry. Here's some of the campaigns you could run. Would that be interesting to you guys? And they're like, we found our guy. Yes, that is very interesting. And would you like to build our marketing department? And I said, yes. So that was a big leap for me, from manager to senior manager, to be able to build a department from scratch, manage a budget, hire a team. And that, kind of one of those inflection points in my career where I felt like, oh man, I'm doing it now. I'm working in entertainment. So I just want to to quantify how long that is. What did I say here? 2015, 6 years to actually to start doing the thing I wanted to do. 6 years to just start doing it. It's kind of what it takes. Maybe you guys will get there faster. I hope you do. So transition to that integrated marketing role for the music industry team at Pandora, and partnering with artists. We're meeting them in the studio to do shoots and record social content. We're recording music and promoting all their music. And we're marketing all these live shows. Like, this is great. My role, let's talk about that tactically. From growth marketing, which was more, hey, send an email or push notification at this time to this customer with a promotion, 99 cents for 3 months, or a win back message of come back and listen to Ja Rule Radio. I don't know why I'm using Ja Rule as the example, but I am. These were very kind of one-off campaigns that would get a customer to come back, take action, and retain. Integrated marketing is what I moved into, which was very much backing up long before the channel. You have a product or a piece of content. Now you have to decide, what is the special thing about that product or that piece of content? Who is it for? How do we communicate it to that person? Where are they? What channels will we run it through? How do we sequence all of these messages and phase it out over the course of a month-long campaign to drive our goal? Integrated marketing is bringing together all the various disciplines of marketing from brand to growth in an orchestrated plan. So it allowed me to kind of pull back a little bit from a narrow focus to a more broad strategic focus. But I started narrow and I mastered what was narrow before I was able to do that. I think that's another key theme of my career, which we'll talk about. So this music industry group ends up, our COO lands a new role at Twitch. Twitch wanted to evolve into new categories. You guys know Twitch, primarily a gaming platform. They wanted to expand into music and sports. And that's really where I started kind of getting experience in this world of creator and live streaming content. So at Twitch, that's what I was recruited to do, lead the emerging verticals, music and sports, essentially grow those verticals from scratch so that they are driving growth for the business. What that means is we are bringing in new customers who would have never came to Twitch because they don't care about gaming, care about music and sports. Now they're Twitch customers and they're discovering everything Twitch has to offer. That was ultimately my goal. Go acquire those customers. So from Twitch, I was promoted from director to senior director, ended up overseeing global integrated marketing and did that for about 3.5 years. My team oversaw brand partnerships, content marketing, growth marketing, and brand campaigns, including our flagship event, TwitchCon. So that's what I did at Twitch. Around that time, a new industry was emerging, sports betting. Morally, not an industry I have a lot of thoughts about. Personally, an industry I like and I participate in. And I thought, this is interesting. What would a job in sports betting look like? My manager at the time, also a fan of this category, ends up getting a job at Hard Rock, the old brick and mortar brand. Cafes, the hotels, the casinos, that Hard Rock that your parents wore the t-shirts back in the day, that Hard Rock. They said, yeah, went from like the most innovative company to Hard Rock. It was a culture shock. They wanted to grow into digital. They wanted to refresh that old ancient brand and move into digital. And so they hired my manager as a CMO, and he brought me over to lead kind of what I was doing at Twitch to go to market for an emerging market, which was really defining the market opportunity and coming up with what that strategy would be, which we decided would be mobile gaming. But you'll go, why mobile gaming? Because Hard Rock doesn't make its money off cheeseburgers and Cokes. They make their money off their casinos. And they have a customer base that goes to casinos and plays lots of games. Well, when they go home, they want to play games too. And Hard Rock had no mobile or digital presence. So that's where we started. Said, we're going to tap into your existing massive customer base globally with what they want in a digital form. The first product we launched was a mobile sports book in Florida. And it still to this day is the only legal sports book available in Florida. We launched it in 2021, I want to say. And about a month in, the federal government knocked on our door and said, nope, not allowed. It's a lot behind the scenes. The industry fraught with regulation. They're still figuring themselves out. I understand it. Well, that's when Amazon calls me back. Amazon called me for a very interesting reason. Amazon Music. How many of you in here use Amazon Music? I'm not surprised because here's why they hired me. Amazon Music is a product that has grown because it is installed in Alexa speakers. Half of the customers don't even know they're using it. Big brand problem. Well, when Alexa's not growing, Amazon Music's not growing. Alexa only grows when they release a new device. That doesn't happen every day. So your brand is tethered to the release schedule of a piece of technology. Great problem to have because it built it into a business. Bad problem to have when it's not working. Or it's a widget on the Prime page. When you sign up for Prime, it says, activate your benefit. And people, when people aren't getting Prime, because most people have Prime, it's not growing. So they hired me to solve that. Grow Amazon Music with off-Amazon growth channels. Specifically amongst Gen Z. I swear to God, we did it. Maybe, we acquired some Gen Z that's just not in this room. Yeah. So what did that look like? It looked like content. Why? Because customers, music fans, when you look at their motivations, when you do research on music fans and people who use streaming platforms, they don't necessarily, price has a bit of impact. People care about price a little bit. So they might come for a promotion, but really they're motivated to use an additional product or app if they have content can't get anywhere else. That is how a customer will try a new streaming app, especially music, because they're all the same. The catalog's exactly the same. The product's largely the same. You could argue some have a better CX, user interface, bit better personalization, but the content's all the same. So we said, we got to go create exclusive content. Content marketing, paid marketing. Now we need to go out on social channels for search or run digital ads to go put this content in an ad and acquire that customer. Bunch of boring tech stack stuff underneath that we had to do to go out and run a bunch of paid social ads essentially. And then product marketing. Product marketing meaning once a customer clicks on that ad, then what happens? When they get to the content, does it force them to sign in? That's bad. We want them to watch a little bit of the content. How long should we allow them to watch? How much of a free sample should we give them? Then when we ask them to sign up, what happens? Do they just connect their Amazon account? All of these kind of nuances that gets a customer from off-platform on the product. It's those three things. Go build content, figure out a way to get it in people's social feeds, and make it easy for them to sign up. So that ended up being the global audience development department at Amazon. About halfway through my time there, they said, hey, David, this is pretty good. Why don't you go do this for every business in entertainment? Which I was like, holy shit, I'm just one guy. Ended up building a team of about 30 plus global, had a team in Japan, Mexico, Brazil, all over the place. Got to travel and eat some awesome food. I swear that's not why that wasn't the highlight of the job. So they wanted me to kind of scale this strategy across Prime Video, Audible, Twitch, what have you. And that's when I kind of realized basically an internal consultant at this point, trying to install playbook that I built at other businesses. What would it look like if I just went and did this full time? Similar to Monica, I said, I've learned all this stuff over my career. It seems to be working fairly well. People are giving me money for it. Maybe I'll just go do it on my own. And I made the same leap that Monica's made. And that leads me to today, where I've started my own firm, Field Vision. Field Vision is a marketing consultancy that we focus primarily on go-to-market strategy for businesses, and our through line is systems-driven approach. A lot of consultants or agencies want you to pay them for a very long time. They want to get that retainer. They want to sit by you side by side for every moment. My philosophy is that's not really helping a business. If you need me to be in the room, I didn't really help. What Field Vision does is we build systems, short-term sprints, 3 to 6 months, that you can then install, train your team to use, and run the play yourselves. So it's focused on scalability and sustainability for the business. All in the world of marketing and go-to-market. So that's what I'm up to today. And I love this work. Why? Because I'm a consumer of what content creators create. It's cool to be a customer of the product that you're out there marketing, right? Human creativity to me is like fundamental essence of humans. And I think it's important. I think it deserves to grow. I think talk a little bit about AI. If you guys want to go there, I think it deserves to be protected. Couple career highlights. Kendrick Lamar's The Pop Out. This is right at the peak of the beef. Drake and Kendrick beef. It's the first time he performed Not Like Us, the Drake diss track, live in front of his hometown audience in LA on Juneteenth, no less. This is a career highlight, bar none. Played a fundamental role in acquiring this piece of content, marketing this piece of content, and driving a significant amount of hip-hop customers who don't generally use Amazon Music to Amazon Music. Creator-led simulcast. This is something we pioneered at Twitch with Thursday Night Football. Twitch was, again, expanding into sports, and first thing we did was we licensed some sports rights, and we quickly learned that if we're just doing what's on TV, nobody on Twitch is going to give a shit. They come to Twitch for community, for creators. So we partnered with a creator named Ninja, who was very, very popular back in the day. Maybe he still is, I don't know. And we had him kind of pioneer this format where he watched the game with his community. This is a format you now see on Monday Night Football, the Manning brothers. This has been adopted kind of industry-wide. We were the first to do this. Pandora Spring Break. I'll do a condensed version of this. It's post-holiday season. Like many businesses, customers are kind of sprinting out the back door. They came for the holiday period, especially if you're a tech company. A lot of people get new devices for the holidays. They install the app, and then kind of the engagement starts to wane, and executives start freaking out. And they want to know how you can go retain all of these customers, go back and win them back. So, the idea was go offer everybody 3 months free. That'll get them back. But when we looked at these customers, who they actually were, they were seasonal customers. They came to Pandora during the holidays for the nostalgia of Christmas music. Literally, if you looked at the customer data, they were all holiday music listeners. They came for a seasonal moment. So what good is 3 months free going to give them? We had to give them a new seasonal moment. So we developed a spring break campaign where we took customers and based on their birth year, we estimated the years they were in college. Then, based on your listening history, we mapped that back to the music you like, what was trending those years, what was on the charts those years. And we built personalized stations based on, so for me, it was hip hop in 2005. What was popping up? Ja Rule. It comes up all the time. So we created these stations and then we mapped the user data, sent it to the customers to bring them back. And it drove single biggest day of listening in Pandora's history, which at the time it was the #1 streaming service in America. So potentially the biggest day of music streaming ever at the time, based on the spring break campaign. 30 million customers in a day. And Twitch sells out. I'll be quick because I know I'm almost at time. Amazon leadership every year goes to every Amazon division and says, so what you doing for Prime Day? And everybody goes, oh yeah, that. Let's figure something out. So for Twitch, we created a 36-hour live stream marathon, creator-led. There was about 64 creators. We gave them like 30-minute slots. Some we had pair up. And we partnered with over 100 brands and products in the gaming space. And we essentially had them do live stream scripted content with these products and allowing customers to one tap buy the product on Prime Day on Twitch. Drove $23 million of revenue in a day. So a couple of highlights that I think just kind of underscore the work that I've done in my career. But let's talk about how I did it. It's probably not what you think. Again, I didn't come with all the technical skills in the book. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I got a lot of grit. If I got an idea, I'm going to exhaust every option to figure out how to go get that thing. And that doesn't make me special. It just makes me pretty. Tapping into that has served me well. Process. Kind of OCD about my process. When you're trying to get a job, that is your job. Your job is trying to get a job. Treat it like a job. And that's what I've done. Spreadsheets where I track every conversation I've had, status updates with myself. I treat it like work. I'm very process driven. And as I'm starting my business, that's serving me well. Read a lot of books. I don't create my own processes. I steal from people who've done it before. And I follow those processes religiously. Being organized, I think, is an underrated skill. Proximity, I already talked about it. Combine this with the grit. I've probably annoyed several people in my life. Worth it. If there is somebody doing something that I want to do, I will try to put myself near that person. Giving to get. When I am with that person, I am not asking them for things. I am offering them things. Even when I have nothing to offer other than I will fold this artist's laundry. I call it a give to get. It's not my own idea. I read it in a book. It's a very powerful notion. I'll just give you an example. A tactic that I've used in my past with recruiters to land interviews is to assume, based on the role in the job description, the type of work they want this person to do and build them a project and just send it to them. Maybe they just take it internally and they use it. I don't care. More often than not, that's going to get them to reply to me then, hey, I heard you're hiring. Look at my profile. Giving somebody some value with no expectation in return. It might not come back to you for a few years. I've given people value that I didn't hear from. And then I got that DM one day, 2 years later, that turned into money. So giving to get. Don't ask, give. And relentless optimism. Maybe that's just another way of saying grit. I don't know. I wanted 5 things. The diagram looked pretty that way. Is staying positive. The majority of my career, I'm hearing no's, but I focus on the times I hear yes. That's what fuels me. My take on the future, it's my last slide. Right now, I call it in the immediate, I think it's 3 phases. I don't know, like anybody else, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen with AI. I don't know what the next trend is going to be, but I know right now there's a lot of people building tools that nobody needs, spending a lot of time building a lot of products because it is the way to get in the media, which might get you some short-term growth. From a business to business standpoint, a lot of things I even use today for my workflows. I love AI. From a consumer standpoint, I have yet to see something as transcendental or useful as a Twitch or a social media or a YouTube, for example. I don't know what that is in AI, but I know there's a lot of money flying around and people building a lot of stuff. And if you get offered a job at one of those places and you think it's cool, by all means, take it. They're going to pay you and it'll lead to something else, right? But when you lose sight of what the customer really needs, what humans need, I call that a race to the bottom. So whenever, I don't know how long this phase is going to last, we're going to get to the end of it. My guess is we're going to realize 10% of this stuff is useful, 90% throw it out. We're going to have an adjustment period and a reconciliation and go, think that was an experimental phase. Throw out the bad, keep the good. It's kind of the natural order of things, which will lead us to the third phase, pendulum swing, a premium on human-made content and storytelling. Here's the analogy I'll use for you guys. It's winter. I need a good knit hat. My head's cold. So I got marketed a hat the other day, a nice knit hat, $20, some major brand, looks nice, good quality. Then I got marketed another hat. It's $40, but it was handmade by a woman in a small village in Peru. Hats look like they're the same quality. They look the same. I'm not gonna break the internet fashion. Both keep my head warm. So it's objectively stupid for me to buy the $40 hat. But that one drew me in because that hat has a story behind it, has some soul and some spirit behind it. And I like that. That attracts me to that product. And I think that is where we will end up in media, content, and entertainment. Humans can't replace it. Yep, that's the last slide. So we are done. Thank you, guys.